Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast. This is podcast number 33. A very dark one. I think the darkest one in Sporting160's history. But first, let's get to the panel. I'll start off with Chris. Chris, how you doing, bro?
Doing all right. Definitely could be better. Shitty week. End of our Liga NOS season. Definitively now. Probably the end of our Champions League pursuit as well. So, I mean, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. If another competition will go down the drain. But, I mean, it's tough to take any positives out of anything that happened this week.
Yeah, for sure. Next one on the panel is Nando. Nando, how you doing, bro?
What's going on, buddy? God dang, really? We really fucked this one up, didn't we? Oh, that's all I really got to say before we get going.
Fair enough. And last but not least, we have also Steph. Steph, how you doing, bro?
Puta que pariu, que puta de vergonha. Perder em casa 4-2, it's very shameful against our all-time rivals, Sporting Lisbon and Benfica. They play much better than we did. I'm embarrassed the way we played, but we'll talk about it. But vergonha do caralho.
Agreed, and I feel the exact same way, guys. We're going to sort of mix it up today. We're going to talk both about Setúbal, but mainly the Benfica game as it's just fresh in our minds. I'll give you the rundown of both lineups against Setúbal. We had Renan in net, Jefferson, Petrovic, Coates, and Ristovski in defense. Ristovski getting a red card for fucking nothing, basically. And then in midfield, we had Doumbia, Wendell, and Bruno Fernandes with Diaby, Rafinha, and Bas Dost up top. And today, we had Renan in net, Bruno Gaspar, Coates, André Pinto, and Jefferson on defense. We had Goudelli, Bruno Fernandes, Wendell in the midfield with Bas Dost, Rafinha, and Nani up top. Steph, I'll give it to you first, bro. Give me your thoughts of the game and everything.
Okay, against Setúbal, we played like shit again. Our midfield look exhausted. The same. I'm going to mix and match both games. So, and that Benfica the same thing. That our midfield looks exhausted. Looks really tired. It looks like everything that the players have learned throughout their lives, they have forgotten how to play football. The passes we miss, there's no connection from defense to midfield to the last third of the field. Nothing is connecting. There's no chemistry. I don't know what happened to the team that Kaiser was able to ramp up and have some great football games. That went sideways. All of a sudden, we don't see that team anymore. Our team has gone from above average to below average, and we playing like shit. Our midfield, Wendell today in the first half against Benfica played okay. In the second half, he disappeared, meaning that he's exhausted. Against Setúbal, I have to mention that João Malheiro, the referee, one of the worst referees I ever seen in my entire life. Very arrogant. He was full of authority. He wouldn't let the players talk to him. I don't know why he showed the red card to Ristovski, just because he said vai pro caralho. That's a yellow. I mean, I've seen vai pro caralho in almost every single game of Liga NOS. So him showing the red card because he said vai pro caralho, it was a little bit too extreme. If I would never... I've seen it before, so that's why I'm surprised. We can go back to Leiria against Kaganesaka. Any game, you pick a game and somebody is saying vai pro caralho or vai no cu. So it's João. He conditioned our Sporting from the get-go. He showed a yellow card very early to Petrovic, to Jefferson. When Setúbal scored in that goal, Petrovic was already limited. He couldn't foul the guy. He would have seen the second yellow and the red card eventually. So he was playing conditioned. and João Mulher did a fantastic job in conditioning Sporting. With that said, I'm not blaming it on the referee because we still play like dirt. Just like today against Sporting Lisboa Benfica, they played much better than we did. They outplayed us at home. Let's emphasize that, at home, with almost a packed stadium. For the embarrassment to the Sporting fan base, we lost at home 4-2 against a great Benfica. They played much better than we did. I don't want to hear shit that the referee this, referee that. The referee was not at fault at all. We could have lost like 7-2, 8-2. We played really bad. That our midfield was like the fucking Lincoln Tunnel. It was a huge fucking hole. Blum Gaspar, I mean, trade him now to Russia. I mean, there's a couple of markets open. Give him away for free. Cum Baltramos or whatever. He's garbage. Our team was a disgrace. A disgrace. I'm really embarrassed today. And olha, vão todos para o caralho because they won bonuses when they play against Benfica. They're supposed to get extra pays, extra bonuses when they play against Porto. Se passam no final da taça e não sei mais que, they won bonuses. So now what? Let's not pay them then. Because we played it, we lost at home 4-2, so fuck them. Don't pay them. Deduct from their salary. An embarrassment. We were playing at fucking home. You got to eat fucking relva when you play at home against your rival next door. So now we're going to have to listen to the Benfiquistas, and there's nothing we can say because they outplayed us big time. Pronto, mais nada. Vão todos para o caralho.
Exactly, bro. And Chris, I'll give it off to you next before passing it off to Nando. Give me your 2 cents as well as for this game and as well for the Stuball game, if you have much to say about that, man.
Yeah, I guess both games, similar types of performances, the types of performances that we've grown accustomed to the past couple weeks. Yeah, I truly have no idea what has happened to the Kaiser ball, the Pep Guardiola-esque that we were playing like 2 months ago. It's gone now. Complete shit today. Goudelli looked like he didn't even want to be there. Kawats was asleep. I'm trying to think of who. Bruno Fernandes was the only one that played anything. Bas Dost wasn't even running in the first half. Probably saved his stats there by getting a bullshit PK, which was honestly incredible. Now, Vlaco Dimas is going to be out on Wednesday, and they're going to have to put Sevilla in. So I guess that's a positive for us. They'll probably protest the suspension, and he'll be able to play on Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, it was atrocious. And the worst part about it is we didn't even look motivated. We didn't even look like we wanted to be there. It was really, really sad to see. And like I said earlier, it probably ends any hope of even getting to second place. Even the gap between third place is growing. And we're going to have to hold on to fourth place. So, I mean, it sucks. And the thing about this is the performances and the shittiness, it carries over. It's not like, oh, we're out of Liga NOS now. You know, we still have the Taça de Portugal. We still have the Europa League. If you're playing like shit, you're going to be playing like shit no matter who the other team is. Like, Villarreal's in last place in Spain, and they're gonna come into Alvalade. If we're playing like shit, we're gonna fucking lose to them. It doesn't matter what place they're in Spain. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and it'll be interesting to see if Kaiser even survives until the end of the season. Because the way things are going, I don't see him making it. If we keep losing, if we don't even finish fourth, then he's totally fucked. But if we crash out to Villarreal, we lose to Benfica on Wednesday, we're in fourth place. He doesn't have a whole lot of things to fall back on other than we played nice soccer 3 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And Nando, I'll pass it off to you, man.
I'm fucking pissed off, bro. Like, there was no care in the world today. There was no attempt at even playing for pride. There was no attempt at trying to salvage a little bit of like, you know what, we could do better. Just like Chris said, like Sporting's been on a downwards performance now for, I don't know, man, I'd say like about a month. Like this whole Kaiser ball and all this stuff, like Sporting has been progressively playing worse. Salvage a half here, maybe 15, 20 minutes there. We've been playing worse every game. And today was, to me, the culmination of just a full game of playing bad. At no point in this game does Sporting look like they were over the top of Benfica. At no point did it look like Sporting could turn it around. Even when we made it 2-1, I almost feel like when I heard the fans celebrate the goal, it almost sounded like more of like a, oh, okay, phew, at least we're not going to get shut out. Like, that's what it sounded like. They come right back in. They scored a 3-1. We go back to playing like shit. And they easily could have won 5-1, 6-1. Personally, I'm going to say it here, and I've been tweeting it. I would have rather us lose 4-1, 4-0. If we're going to lose and play that bad, then we need to lose in a way that's going to demand change and accountability. And, you know, I wasn't 100% sold on Kaiser when he first came over. He did have his little stretch there. But what today says to me is that this comes from within. I mean, I don't know if you guys have already been reading what is posted online, but here's a perfect example of the shit that pisses me off. Bruno Fernandes says, é tempo de cada fazer uma reflexão e pensar no que está fazendo mal. So instead of let's lift our heads, let's reflect. So that's good. At least we have as a DNA a solid system of lifting heads, reflections, and that'll get us far. I mean, if we keep this up, I mean, we will always be known as the nice, polite, cute, the friendly neighbors. I mean, shit, who wouldn't want to play against Sporting, and who wouldn't want to play against a team that when things go bad, we lift our heads up and we look at the positives. The positives today is we scored 2 goals. That's nice. The positives today is that, we didn't get shut out. Fortunately, dato título, you know what I'm saying? A team that is still in the running, not bad. It could have been worse. That shit fucking pisses me off, man. It really pisses me off because I dead serious have read. So I've gone on Facebook, I've gone on Sporting's Facebook, and I've been reading comments. And I, honest to God, would say that about a third, if not a little more than a third, of Portuguese is going like, hey, man, it's time to levantar the cabeza. We've got a game coming up against them again this week. It's time to levantar the cabeza because, shit, we've won the Taça da Liga this year. That small mentality is shocking. I wouldn't say shocking anymore. It's
tiring.
It's tiring. It's silly. It's weird. It's strange. I mean, do these people not realize what Sporting has accomplished throughout their history and everything that went to shit at the turn of the 80s? That pisses me off. So today was just a culmination of all of that. To me, there's the Sportingistas who have completely accepted what it is to just be in third place, to fourth place, and then an occasional Taça Portugal or Taça da Liga, and they're fine with it. And today showed me that. And until we hit bancarrota, until we hit the very bottom, this is just normal for us. And we'll keep doing this and have ourselves to bitch at, but fuck, man.
It kind of seems like deja vu to me. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like my younger days back when we were, in the same sort of sphere, like not entering big games. Yeah, we did.
Past 2 years, 2-3 years. But yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like I don't enter any big games anymore feeling confident at all. If anything, I'm thinking, okay, we can at least get a draw, and that's about it. All the tosses, even against Bruno Carvalho now. Even the tosses that we did win under him, all under penalties. Again, this year, the only way we won a tassa, penalties. I mean, I have a Portista friend always busting my balls, but at this point, I think he's right. If it's not with penalties, are we really going to win anything?
But the difference to me when it comes to that shit is that when we were winning by penalties, I mean, we can turn around and talk about the direção at the end of this podcast. We'll focus on the game first. I'm sure we all have something to go that route. But when we were winning those games, Sporting never, under Bruno Carvalho, at least looked like they had genuinely given up before games started. They at least had that vontade, that courage. There was less, conseguido games, less games that were less fortunate. But this game, we came in completely demoralized. We came in completely like in shock.
That first goal is a fucking joke. What is Coach doing? What is Bruno Gaspar and what's his face fucking both collide, and then Andre Almeida, out of all fucking people, has this fucking run out of nowhere. It's a fucking joke. Our defense today was butter, and our offense was fucking useless, pointless, and predictable. Every other time, we'd get it from the midfield, pass it off on the wings. Jefferson doesn't get it. Jefferson loses out on it. Earlier on, Nani, who I fucking love, but today was so bad today. This guy fucking holds up the ball on the top of the box instead of passing it to Jefferson. What happens after keeping the ball there? Loses the ball. It's so bad. And we can, again, like Steph said, we can complain about the referee, and he did have some weird calls, and sometimes I think he forgot his fucking yellow card at home. I think he thought a few times, but we have no one else to blame but ourselves. That performance was a fucking joke. Anyways, Steph, I got a question for you, and we sort of discussed this a bit, and of course I'll pass it off to the rest of you. Are you Kaiser in or out, or should we still give him more time? What's your thought process right now on Kaiser?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate our track and field ladies. They became champions of Europe at the outdoor maratona race. So congratulations to them. There's a piece of good news. They conquered another European title for our club. So let's not forget that we're not only football, because in football apparently we do suck. So let's praise our modalidades at least, you know. Yeah, that's the only thing we have left, you know. Well, Kaiser, he has good ideas, but I don't think the team is assimilating the way he wants a team to play. It's taking them way too long for so-called professionals that can even take a shot outside the box. It was disgusting to see our como é que se chama esse corner? O Guldet. He couldn't even take a shot outside the box. It went up to the south corner of the stadium. I was like, what the hell? This is what we call professional players can even take a goddamn shot? I mean, at least, you know, hit the the goalie or something. I mean, the goal is pretty big. We have players that can't even take a fucking shot. Seriously. I mean, Bruno Fernandes scored and Bajor scored. I guess that's the only thing positive about it. But I would keep Kaiser. But at the same time, I don't know what happened. Why is he not playing Miguel Luis? Why is he not playing Giovanni? Why is he always insisting in certain players like Diaby? Why is he insisting in Gudelj? How come today he didn't call Doumbia? I'm confused. I'm very confused. We got players this winter market. We're barely using them, or if we're using them just for a few minutes. Luis Felipe, he came in at the 90th minute when we found out we had 7 more minutes of extra time. How come he didn't come in early? If you're losing by 1, 2, 3, now it's the time to put it, like we say in the Portuguese gíria, a carne toda no assador. You put all your offensive players in, and you look for a better result. So I'm still Kaiser in, but I'm not getting his mentality. Seriously, I mean, Bruno Fernandes está estourado. Wendell today, the first 45 minutes was okay, but the second half, he played like garbage. Our midfield is not connecting, making too many mistakes, which leads to counterattacks by our opponents. That's why Benfica did all day long. They saw it. Lage is an average coach, and he outclassed Kaiser big time. Lage is becoming actually a pretty good coach with the tools he's got at Benfica. And, you know, I'm still Kaiser in, but I don't know how much more we can take of this. Varanda sucks as well. He's the worst president of the sporting history. I'm glad I didn't vote for him. I voted for Bundita, but he has no fucking business in being the president of Sporting Portugal. He doesn't understand what it takes. He's way out of his league. Way out of his league. He should stick to medicine He understands nothing about being a president, nothing to put out a comunicado, nothing with gestão, nothing with marketing. He totally sucks.
He understands nothing.
He totally sucks. I mean, and we're losing our battle from the top down, from our leadership down. This guy sucks. I'm really glad I never voted for him, but you could tell that him as a president, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Our scouting department doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I was really pissed when they got Lodi. What a piece of shit fucking center back we got. When he forced his way out of Sporting, now we got him back. What the fuck? What are we, Club de Abres Pernas? I'm telling you. And that's all I got to say. I have a lot more negative stuff to say. The only positive thing to say is the stadium was almost full. The fan base responded. They showed up in big numbers, but then they left. Like 10 minutes left of the game, they were leaving. Portuguese lost Ucrere, and that's really sad because I foresee the next games from now on to be lower and lower numbers, and then you question yourself, why am I doing all this? Why am I doing Twitter accounts and podcasts and spending money on merchandise, going out of my way, buying the Sporting newspaper? What the fuck? For this kind of embarrassment? To me, this is an embarrassment. I'm sorry if I'm being super negative, but losing at home 4-2 against Sporting Lisboa's Benfica, our biggest rival, it's a total embarrassment. And I don't know if Sporting deserves me. Seriously. No, I'm questioning it. It's a big blow to my confidence. I have a closet full of Sporting merchandise, and I love my Sporting. If it wasn't for the modalidades, I'm telling you, I would just quit. But the modalidades keep me alive year after year after year. To be precise, after 17 fucking years, because it's been 17 years since we won the last title. A Taça da Liga, you tickle my balls, but that's it. But it's not something that we say, oh, ganhamos a Taça da Liga, what a big deal. It's good for nothing. It's just a trophy to go into the museum. It doesn't even qualify us for Liga Europa. It doesn't qualify us for anything. It's just a fucking cup. Just like winning a Taça de Cinco Violinos. It's the same thing. It's a beautiful cup to have in the museum, but it's good for nothing else. Nothing else. Anyway, todos para o caralho. Eu não se pagava este mês. Este mês é assim, vão para o caralho, you're not going to get paid because you embarrassed the whole fucking club, the whole history. Imagine the founders. They died a long time ago. If they could come back to life and speak to them, é uma vergonha do caralho. Nem sei o que estou a falar.
Must be rolling in their graves, bro. Quickly, just before I pass it off to Chris, the same question. That thing on Thiago Lodi, the thing that pisses me off about him coming is that if you look at many other teams,
he's so garbage.
But he is. But you look at many other teams,
oh my God,
they play. Lumor was in Turkey for 2-3 days. He started. Okay, I know not to compare Godzep or however you pronounce that to Sporting, but at the end of the day, they play. We insisted on a broken nose André Pinto when we had Ilori on the bench. We insist on a Jefferson when we just bought a Borja. We insist on a Goudelli. We insist on a tired Bruno Fernandes because I know you guys said Bruno Fernandes is probably our best player. I definitely agree. Maybe he showed Gata, but in the first half, he was, to me, aside from that goal, he was shit. Wendell, who I think only had a really good first half, second half, he also disappeared. They look tired. We didn't call up Doumbia. We don't call up Gerald. We don't call up Miguel Luis. Gerald comes back to Sporting to do 2 or 3 promotions on game boxes, but not to play a single fucking minute. Miguel Luis scores a golaço, doesn't fucking play after that. Jovan Cabral gets the fucking last 5 minutes to try to resolve the game like that's going to do anything. Diaby is Diaby. Fair enough, he scored a goal. He was offside.
Aquela máquina.
Exactly. It's so frustrating. But anyways, Chris, with that being said, Kaiser in or out, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's definitely playing with fire at this point, the way things are heading. The two things that drive me absolutely insane with him.
I like your T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. The goals conceded within the first 5 minutes of the start of halves. It has happened so many fucking times. It's unbelievable. And at this point, it's on the coach. He doesn't prepare them. They come out not ready to play. Benfica scored within 45 seconds of the second half to put the game away. It was 2-1. We were within 1 goal. We basically needed to win the game. They go up 3-1. We're not going to score 3 goals. It wasn't going to happen. So we were fucked. And that was instantaneous. The substitutions, like he watched the same game that we watched and decided that the only tweak that was needed was put Diaby in. And then I don't know if you guys caught this, he was about to put in Petrovic as well.
Yeah, I seen that.
That is, with 10 minutes left, your second sub, you're gonna put Petrovic in, down 4-1. That is small. That is, let's not concede more goals. That's not, we're trying to win this game. And then we score a fucking bullshit PK. And yeah, he puts Cabral in the 90th minute and Luis Felipe. Like, okay, bro. I don't understand why he doesn't make any substitutions.
Yeah.
I don't, with Goudelli,
because we needed them. We needed them desperately.
Yeah.
I thought Doumbia was one of the best players in Setúbal.
Yes. I mean, he
played well.
He made a couple silly mistakes, like not protecting the ball with his body.
Yeah.
He's big, but besides that, he readjusted and
he did all right. For sure, he did all right.
Definitely deserves another look. I mean, how many times do you have to see Goudelli waltz around out there before we try something else?
He can't even take a shot outside the box, caralho.
And they keep on insisting him that he does that too. Even against Setúbal, there was a fucking free kick play where they just roll the ball, or maybe it was today. I can't even remember straight. They just roll the ball to him and expecting him to fucking. That was today.
Yeah.
What a fucking pointless use of fucking play is that? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I just don't get why there's no changes. I mean, Bas Dost was horrible. Like, he could have put Luis Felipe in the 55th minute.
Oh,
no one would have been upset about that. Like,
no.
I don't get why he doesn't have the courage to make bold moves. Believe it or not, Peseiro, when he was subbing Jovan Cabral in the beginning of the season, an unproven young winger, took more balls than anything Kaiser has done, personnel-wise.
Facts.
He plays it safe. He's playing it safe. It's put Petrovic in. Let's play for the draw. Let's not concede more goals. It's not a mentality. It's a mentality that I'm sick of. I don't. If I wanted Peseiro, to just replace Peseiro, we shouldn't have fired him in the first place.
I think the issue is, who the fuck is Kaiser listening to?
That I was just about to get into that too, because he didn't start off this way. This guy fucking started 4 or 5 fucking academy players in the Europa League. You know what I mean? Like, fucking most managers don't even do that for the Taça da Liga. So I'm with you, Steph. Who the fuck is he listening to start playing it safe with Petrovic coming to warm up and coming into the end of the game? Fucking always with these defensive lineups, never switching to midfield or rotating. It's like we have JJ all over again. I'm getting fucking tired of seeing Bruno Fernandes out there.
Wendell's the only good thing that he's done.
Yeah.
His mojo is gone. Something happened. Something got broken. That Kaiser came in and he said, "Well, this is practice day." I had a couple, because he came in at the perfect time when we had like 2 or 3 weeks break because of the FIFA schedule, and then he had time to look at the older players. So then he judged them by what he saw at practice, and then he said, "Okay, hey, I'm going to play this, and this guy, because in practice they're the ones who give me it all." And then all of a sudden, now a turn of 180 degree. He's playing these players with no chemistry. They don't play like a team. The defense and midfield, they totally broken. There's a big hole in the midfield. Goudelch doesn't help the fucking center backs. The center backs
or the right backs or left backs.
No,
sorry. He doesn't help out anything defensively. As much stick as Bruno Gaspar deserves, he's also getting fucking burned because Goudelli isn't fucking tracking his man in the midfield. Sorry, Steph, go ahead.
No, it's cool. You can cut me off. I don't give a shit. We're going to cut it off.
Okay, cool.
But Bruno Gaspar was fucking horrible. Eu nunca vi uns jogadores jogar tão mal na minha vida como o Bruno Gaspar. Who the fuck is he? I mean, he was like the turnpike. Easy pass. Bang, vai pro lado. The coach of Benfica noticed it. Go to the left because he sucks. He sucks. And then all the crosses came from the fucking left. And I watched the game today, and my wife, she said, "Hey, go downstairs and watch the game," because she doesn't like to watch. She's Benfiquista. She doesn't really follow it. She just is by birth. Her whole family is. But she said, "Go downstairs." So and I'm glad she told me that. Because if we were watching the game together, she doesn't even know the score yet. As soon as I tell her, she's gonna eat me alive. Mas olha, sabes uma coisa, Nando? I like your microphone, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's a nice one. How much you pay for that?
I was like, man, I gotta start using this shit. So,
yeah. How much you pay for that?
Fucking like 130, maybe.
Opa, isso é profissional.
You gotta kick it up another notch.
I mean, it's more interesting to talk about your microphone than the.
I know. That's why I started blushing. I got excited. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start talking about something that's worth it."
Anyways, Kaiser, in or out? What are your thoughts?
Out. Yeah, out. Like, look, how many times do we need to sit here and actually scratch our heads and try to figure out why are the subs done so poorly? Why are the subs done so out of time? It's not rocket fucking science. It's not, man. Like, this is basic shit. Like, we're losing. So at halftime, we bring in the all-pro super sub Diaby. We're losing. And then suddenly we there's 7 minutes of extra time to go. And he's like, time to bring in Luis Felipe, who we just bought, but never got any time to play. Like, it's shit like that really pisses me off and says that the guy just doesn't have a general feel for what's going on. Like, bring in Giovanni Cabral at halftime. Take out Nani if you have to. No, take out Rafinha. Like, you know what I'm saying? Substitutions like that. For example, who did we bring in? So we took Nani and we brought Diaby in. Like, you could have brought Cabral in instead of Diaby, who, like, literally the second he touches the ball, all of Alvalade pretty much, like, whistles at him and is pissed off. I think that we have to make the statement that with Pizarro, we were at least doing okay. Then that's a bad look. That's a real bad look for Kaiser. I've already read Sportingistas being like, shit, we were beating Benfica at Benfica 1-0 until the 80th minute. With Pizarro, when he left, we were how many points back? Right?
Yeah, not much.
Not 13.
Yeah.
13 is honestly fucking ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying.
In the beginning of February.
When we have to sit here and do that, like, that's not a good look. How do you defend that? Do you say, hey, man, he needs more time? Because no, fuck that shit, because you don't need more time to do worse and then do better. I'm sorry. So to me, he's out. But with that being said, the Direção's also out. Just like Steph was saying, nobody knows what to talk about. Nobody knows when to say it. Nobody has any knack. The president smiles in the tribuna like as if he just knows he's on camera. He honestly looks to me like a little kid who just was given the position. He's like, shit, like, I really got out with the biggest robbery in, sports in Portugal history. I don't know if you guys know this, but the guy, I think, makes almost 3 times as much as Bruno Carvalho made. Like, I think that's his salary as Presidente Sporting. 3 times more than Bruno Carvalho made, all right? But ninguém diz nada. Everybody be calado. And the thing that really pissed me off today, and I'm trying to find the quote to post it on our Twitter account, but I believe today before the game, somebody had interviewed Álvaro Sobrinho, who literally, and I even posted on Facebook. Let me just read that shit to you because it really pissed me off. This is the mentality. He said the following. He said, o Arsenal é clube de sucesso porque dá lucro, apesar de não ganhar nada, e é isso que todos os sportinguistas querem. Antes de adepto, sou associacionista, e depois adepto. Primeiro dinheiro e depois o sucesso. When you have a guy who's been as controversial as he has in every fucking election, he gets his face in the picture, and suddenly he shows up and he says that the number one thing at Sporting is first money, then wins. And he compares this to Arsenal in the fact that they don't win, but they bring in, money. Dude, there's so much wrong in DNA-wise at Sporting. There's so much wrong going on, and it all went to shit at right around the 80s, really pretty much when we stopped winning consistently. And, we're going on 17 years. Next year it'll be 18. As long as Sporting has a polite president, as long as Sporting has a guy who's nice and caring and not the Trump of the Portuguese media, as long as Sporting has a guy who doesn't say the wrong things but is friends with everybody, and as long as Sporting continues to put money in the pocket of those who decide to invest, like William Carvalho and so forth and so on, who had no problem leaving the club, but had no problem also acting like they had money to put. All of that is built into the mentality. That's my problem. Is this is a mental game, because it doesn't take a 5-star coach to make guys who know how to play soccer play soccer. The better coach turns a game against a small team into a blowout. The better coach turns the game that's not going well into a game that they salvage and tie. And when you've got a guy like this, like Bezzedo and Kaiser and President, who get guys back at the winter market and don't play and get sent out immediately, that is concerning. They're there for money, and Sportingistas don't understand that. They don't care about that. But the problem is, it's the 71%, the older generation, that doesn't get it. The newer generation gets it. The older generation doesn't. And at the end of the day, one sócio, one vote, and at that point, we'll be able to turn this shit around.
Well, I hate to tell you, but the way it is at Sporting, it's lopsided. When it comes to elections, Assembleias Gerais, and you have to vote, it's so full of the Lisboetas. The people in the north, fuck you. The immigrants, fuck you. Os Lisboetas é que decidem. Us, from immigrant Sportingistas and the north and Algarve, we have no way to vote on time. Every time we vote, our votes get there late. It's always like that. So the decision making is being made by Sportingistas from Lisboa. That's it. And I don't live in Portugal. I wish if I ever retired, I'll retire like close to the stadium, not like literally, but close enough so I could go watch the games.
Right.
But
hey, man, just to put this in perspective, so I wrote on Sporting's Facebook post, I said, "O sócio voto," and I got, I think, hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, 87 likes, right? There's this asshole who commented underneath me, and I looked at his picture. The dude's got to look like he's 76, and he goes, giving Sporting power in Portuguese. I'm translating, but dar o poder a jovem que não percebe nada de nada is might as well just close the club down.
Yeah,
This guy literally looks like
right.
79 and dying, and he had to comment saying that shit. He has the balls to say that?
Of course, it's about to close down anyway.
Because his generation has done so well with their decision making.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's the same reason why in 40 years we only won fucking 3 leagues.
No, 2, I believe.
Was it 2 then? My bad.
Yeah, it's every 20 years or something.
I don't know if you guys.
I can't hear you, bro. I don't know if it's me or you.
I think I can't which fucking button to press. I remember reading this shit. Even my dad told me this. Like when Sporting had gotten João Pinto, back, what was it, 99, 2000, right around there. There was a huge controversy between, like, can Sporting, quote unquote, afford João Pinto to bring him over? And my dad actually showed me the capa de dos jornais at the time. Now, I don't know if it was a Bolo Record, how it talked about how Sporting, its president at the time, I think it was Roquette, maybe something along those lines, and how he did everything he could between agents to position themselves to get João Pinto. But at the end of the day, if João Pinto were to ever be sold, Sporting would never get a penny out of it. So in other words, Sporting has had this mentality of making deals that fill the pockets of those that want to make more money, first and foremost, before putting in position players that have the skill set necessary to win. If this was in America, where there's an owner, for the most part, you know, there's fans of clubs out there that are probably pissed off at their owners and how cheap they are. But for the vast majority, if this was in America or even in England or something like that, the fans would demand change. The owners would want their money. And in order to make money, you have to win. And Sporting cares about making money first, winning second, if it all, you know, those stars align. Today sucked. Benfica wanted it more. Kaiser, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
well, it's not only in soccer and football. Even in the modalidades, the pavilion is empty.
Yeah,
there's no crença. The fans are feeling it. What Bruno Carvalho brought to the club was paixão. He brought back what Sportingistas like: Sporting first, and then everybody else. Now we have everybody else first, and then Sporting. What's more important to Varandas? Like you said, money, and this vice president, and this guy, and that agent, and o Mendes is all over Sporting again.
Yeah,
he's breaking Sporting in the backbone of Sporting again. So we're not making money. The fans are just staying home, and we're losing games. Today was a perfect example how bad we stunk. 4-2 at home against our rival. Before that, 1-1 contra o grande Vitória de Setúbal. Another team that we think it's uma equipa do caralho. O Tondela, o Guimarães, e o Portimonense. I mean, this year we suck. That's it. If we finish 4th or 5th, it's a good year.
I don't see us getting out of 4th.
The good years when the perfect year for Sportingistas always is the year that we finish maybe above Benfica. If we can manage to get above Benfica, Sportingistas caralho.
Win against Benfica. If we win against Benfica, all the folks of Sporting, se a gente ganhar a Benfica, já ganhamos o campeonato.
That's exactly how my dad sounds. When Benfica loses, my dad's like, pô, aí sim. Then Sporting loses or ties, and my dad goes, mas pelo menos o Benfica também hoje.
Bro, I was at a bar watching the game today, and I was already hearing at 4-1, 4-2. Oh, pelo menos não é 3-0 como eles receberam. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Who cares if we beat them 3-0 at home? Fucking what? 4 years ago now? 5 years ago? What have we been since then?
Win the league.
Exactly, and we didn't win the league. They did. Who gives a fuck? Exactly. It's fucking. I'm with you guys. The mentality in this club is ridiculous. And quickly on Varandas. You know, Bruno Carvalho is this big bad wolf, which I'm not gonna act like he was a saint or anything. Of course, he has his flaws, but if he forced this election, if he forced this dismissal and got his way as a president, what is he the day before a final talking shit about Luis Felipe Vieira? What is he doing there? If Bruno Carvalho was a bad guy doing that, now it's fine because it's Varandas doing it. The thing that irritates me the most about Varandas is he's not acting like a president. He's acting like a director of football. Because you see from Modalidades, Miguel Albuquerque's doing all of that, and fair enough. We're not as good as we were last year, but we're still competing in the Modalidades. We're still competing in hockey and handball, futsal, etc. You come to football or soccer, we're making signings that only play in 2 months. We're getting players back from loan that aren't even playing, that are just making promotions. Mateus Pereira doesn't come back, but we're sticking with Diaby. Like Steph said, Jorge Mendes is clearly back at Sporting. We even loaned out Yuri Medeiros to his Polish team, Legia Warsaw. We signed fucking Ilori from Reading. Of course, because it's not like there was better center backs out there in the market. Of course not. We have to sign somebody from one of his teams. I'm surprised we haven't signed anybody from Wolves. We haven't sold Bruno Fernandes to Wolves yet.
The Chinese
kid. The fucking Asian kid. There you go. Never mind then. I stand corrected. I'm surprised none of fuck, man.
Hasn't played a minute.
Exactly. For the under 23s. The same thing with that fucking Estoril kid from the under 23. He barely plays for Estoril, but apparently he's good enough for Sporting. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. From top to bottom, everything in soccer, this season especially, has been nothing but a fucking joke. And my last thing on this is the Clocks want to fucking beat up the players before a fucking cup final. Where the fuck are you right now for 4-2, embarrassed at home? I'm not saying let's go beat them up. Of course not. But if you had the balls to do that before a fucking cup final and really fuck over Sporting now. Get this president the fuck out of here. Get some of these players, get them to rescind again, because I'm sick and tired of having to see Bas Dost not pressure the fucking defender, not jump for a fucking header. That's the only thing you're good at, and you're not even going to try to win a header in the midfield because you're too scared of Ruben Dias. Go fuck yourself, bro. Go rescind, man. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
No. I mean, let it out, bro. Let it out.
It's therapy.
Yeah, therapy. Eu dava outra coisa para a terapia. And then we had Cristiano Ronaldo that picked today to go watch a soccer game.
Bro, the worst thing, once you guys go on Twitter, you'll see the fucking Clock to Benfica were singing something, and you see Cristiano Ronaldo's mom like clapping at them and shit like that, bro. For this day just gets like even worse, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the best player in the world, he decided to go with his girlfriend to watch Sporting play against Benfica, and look at the performance we lose.
Guys, just get used to it. Get used to it if you haven't already. What's going to happen is this. This is exactly what I predict. Next year, caralho. Next year, vamos reventar com tudo. Like, Sporting is going to fucking revamp everything. They're going to try so hard to, like, not go more than 18 years without a title. Vamos ganhar that one title maybe next year. E tudo volta ao fucking mesmo. Because that's exactly what this culture at Sporting is about. And our best bet, to be honest, our best bet is that we just got to wait it out. I mean, attrition alone, deaths, older people will die. If we just wait it out,
wait 20 years.
it is what it is. I mean, we'll do this podcast again in 20 years or 25 with whiter beards and shit like that. And then we'll be like, for this, it's about time. Now we got to play catch up. We got to come back from like 20 some title differences. It's bullshit. But that's the facts. We are okay with this. Sportingistas are okay with it. And Sportingistas,
I'm not okay with it.
No, I'm saying as a club, the ones that matter do not care. And you and me don't have enough voice to make a difference because we only get one vote. We literally have to wait till we're older, literally 10, 15 years older of always being socio to make a fucking difference. So, because we're younger and because we've been Sporting socios for a lesser time, we're fucked. We have nothing. We could do nothing. We just watch.
We found, I'm going to tell you guys something that I'm pretty sure you know, and then if you don't know, you're about to find out. The modalidades, they're doing quite okay. When I say modalidades, I'm talking about in Patins, which they did the opposite. They went to the Pavilion de Luz and they won 4-1. In Patins. Volleyball, we're in good shape. Handball, we're in good shape. Futsal, we were in better shape, but we're getting there now. And what's the secret? The secret is the director, Albuquerque, with his coaches, he's the vice president des modalidades. They found the formula, which is each modalidad has a great team, and the coach trusts all the players. And then they do have uma rotação muito boa. So when you see the futsal team or volleyball team or Patins team play, it's hardly always the same players. He rotates them all the time. And that's what's going on with Sporting in football. He's not rotating the players because he doesn't trust the other ones. So when you play 2 games per week, your team gets really, really exhausted. Even Benfica does a better rotation. Even Futebol Clube Porto. Even Braga does a better rotation. Sometimes you see they use Paulinho as a striker or they use Diego Souza as a striker. But Sporting is not doing that. Kaiser is just going with the same players over and over and over. And then what happens every 3 days when you play a game, you have no time to prepare your team as far as practices. Because now the players that play today, tomorrow they won't practice. They'll go to the gym and recoup. And then the only ones that will practice is the ones that didn't play. So when it's game day, the coach had no time to implement new ideas or new tactics and so on. So Sporting, the coach at Sporting needs to trust the whole team and not just a bunch of players. And that's where the downfall is with Sporting. We don't keep our team fresh. We need to keep our team fresh. You can keep the same goalie most of the time. Most of the time, you can keep your same center backs. But strikers and midfielders, you need to refresh them, especially when you play every 3 days. This is why teams like Tondela and Guimarães, they put on a good fight against us because they only play once a week. As soon as they're done with their game, they have the whole week to recoup and then play another lousy game at the end of that week. We can afford the luxury because we're involved in the older competitions. Well, League and us, forget about it. But, you see, and that's why I think the mistake is with Kaiser. He's not trusting his players. And until he doesn't trust all the players, this is going to happen again on Wednesday. And Wednesday, I believe, we're going to start with the Luz. But that's in Portugal.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine. I don't even know what, I would park the bus and play a counterattack. I would go Cruzeiro style or Mourinho style.
Anybody else have anything to say? I'm lost for words.
I don't know if we have the squad to park the bus.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I guess you can put Petrovic at the 6.
I mean, we kind of parked it today and took 4.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't park it enough.
No.
I think we still finished the game with more possession. We just do nothing with the ball. Nothing.
Well, when you're passing the ball sideways,
backwards and shit like that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, fuck the possession statistic.
No, for sure. I think it was halftime. We had 51 of 49. They had 2 opportunities, or no, they had 4 opportunities, 2 goals. We had 1 opportunity, 1 goal. It's a joke. And even on top of that, they lost the ball more than we did. They lost the ball some 40 times or some shit like that. We lost it 37. And they still had way more opportunities than we did. But that defense needs to get sorted. My only thing, I will give Kaiser until the end of the season, but he has to not only show the Kaiser ball that we got used to and liked in the beginning, he also needs to show that when he does play defensive, we're not fucking cut through like butter. 2 out of the 4 goals could have easily been avoided. That penalty easily could have been avoided. It's just simple runs behind the defender and boom, they're through. The first goal, Quats falls asleep, header in. It's if he wants a shot, and I think we should at least give him until the end of the season. There's no point of sacking a manager now. We give him until the end of the season, but he has to show something. And I'm not even talking about winning Taça Portugal or not, because fuck it at this point. Toma cagar nisso. What does that give us? A fucking Europa League? I think 4th place gives us the same exact shit.
Nah,
but I think 4th place gives us what, like the second round playoff or some shit like that? I think Taça Portugal is the same.
Fucking lose to some Polish team or some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Kaiser. I mean, I don't know. I think he kicks it. I would put the Nundias as the coach.
the futsal coach?
Yeah, seriously.
Talvez percebe melhor, é verdade.
I'm telling you, man, because this guy, I don't know what's going on with Kaiser. He's listening to the wrong person. I don't know who the fuck corrupted his mind. He had a pair of balls, and now, you know, it's like an embarrassment. Like you guys said, late substitutions. The plays he picks all the time, it's all the same ones.
And conceding. This was a problem from the very beginning. We were always conceding, no clean sheets. Now we're just conceding in mass quantity. So that was a problem that existed, but it didn't matter as much because we were scoring 4 goals a game. So if you concede 1 or 2, you still win 4-2. Now we concede 3 goals a game, 4 goals a game, and we don't score. So it's like that Stubble game reminded me. It was a textbook Pizzero game. Just crosses, like mindlessly crossing it. No thought about where it's going. Just cross it in, and maybe something will happen. And nothing happened.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, I gotta tell you. I think like 1, 2, 3 crosses by Jefferson that Bastos could have done much better.
Jefferson has played well.
Jefferson
has played well.
He
has been a top 3 player the past couple games, which is embarrassing to the others.
Yeah.
I mean,
today he was probably. You're right there. Today, I think he was probably our most consistent player, at least going forward. His crosses may not have gotten anywhere, but at least going forward, he was always there. We always looked more threatening when we passed it to Jefferson, which is fucking embarrassing.
You see,
embarrassing.
You see how significant Acuna is.
Yeah, but I mean, Jefferson did well. What's Acuna gonna go play right back?
No, I would tell. He could have played extremo, left winger. I mean,
instead of Nani.
Mathieu not playing. He left a big fucking hole. We had two major players not playing, Acuna and Mathieu, and now defense looked like a defense from the 3rd division of Portugal. Some players don't even belong to play at Sporting. Bruno Cabral doesn't belong. He's not a Sporting player. He's not a quality. He doesn't have quality good enough. And Pinto, okay, we know he's the backup. But he doesn't belong to Sporting either.
And with a broken nose, too. Like, for this, why are you playing him?
He just went and bought 40% of the Lori's pass.
Exactly. A guy that can fucking win a header. and not be afraid to break his nose.
Anyway,
and another thing, mentioning Acuna, thank you for bringing it up. Why isn't he playing today? We haven't sold him to Russia yet. What injury does he have?
I read he was supposed to play.
Yeah, me too. Why isn't he playing?
The left testicle was.
For this, if he's not gonna play, sell him to Russia now. There's no point of him fucking watching the fucking game, drinking the that herbal Argentinian tea. Fuck it, bro. Go watch it in Russia. Enjoy the fucking cold.
I don't know.
Tem tanto neve aqui no Toronto, pá. Vai lá, a Rússia, começas a limpar a neve, caralho. Já deve ter mais do que aqui, meu. Tá que pariu.
I don't know if you guys listened to the last Sporting160, but Castro said something that it caught my attention. No Porto, you have players that don't want to renew with Porto, like Herrera and so on. But it doesn't stop Sérgio Conceição playing them. Sérgio Conceição is playing them because Sérgio Conceição is the fucking coach. It's not Pinto Costa or diretor and sei que. So it's embarrassing to me that Kaiser, he doesn't tell Varandas or King, seja que for, listen, I am going to play the players that I see most fit. If Miguel Luis doesn't want to renew the contract, I don't give two fucks. But if he's your better choice, let him play. Yeah. Let him play. This whole mentality of, se tu não queres renovar, eu não te vou pôr a jogar. This is an old mentality. Stop with that shit. Play your best players. Miguel Luis is nice and fresh. He hasn't played forever. Why don't you play him? We needed first legs today. So Giovanni, the same shit. Why is he not playing? And then, if your team is so exhausted like they showed today, you still have Bruno Paz. You still have Bragança that you loan them to fucking Ferenc. Bragança, he has a place in this team. He has a place in this team.
Way better than Goudelli. Way better than Goudelli.
What'd you get Geraldo for? Para jogar matraquilhos na academia com os putos? What the fuck? Play the guy,
promoção do Game Box, meu.
Meu, a gente já está a perder. O campeonato já foi de cona. So now do experiments. Try, Geraldo. The next game para a Taça de Portugal, em vez de pôr um dos meus campistas todos estourados, que põe Geraldo, caralho.
Mas não vai porque temos que ganhar esse jogo. Exactly, we have to win the game. Why would he? He's not going to risk it now. He didn't risk it today. He didn't risk it against Setúbal. He never risked it in the Taça da Liga. He's not going to risk it for the Taça de Portugal now.
He's going to run it back with the exact same. Yeah. You put Diaby, Dost.
If anything, he switches Nani for Diaby or Rafinha for Diaby. That's probably about it. And maybe we'll see Lottie in there, but that's about it. That's about it. I don't see him changing much. And something that you said real quick, Stefan, I want to bring that up because that's actually really important and it's really big on what happened this season to us. Imagine Pinto Costa or any president telling Sérgio Conceição, José Mourinho, any fucking coach, you cannot play this guy because he was signing from the last president. Buddy, vou-me embora like Abel Ferreira says, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? The fact that we have Viviano coming out in the by the way, a Viviano who fucking saved Spal against I can't remember who now, but he had a fucking performance and a half his last game. Viviano coming out saying that this new president wanted to shut the old one. The Milojevic, the coach that was with us for a week, saying the exact same thing. Who else left because of that? Stefan Sturaro, who's now starting for Genoa, never even placing his foot here.
That was a good one. That was my favorite signing.
Yeah. Buddy, he's probably been the most consistent at Sporting this season.
And Nando, he never lost the game.
Never lost the fucking game. Never played bad either.
When he got him, he said that I think he said something along the lines of a guy of this talent coming from the Série A é uma mais-valia para o futebol português.
Yeah. Eu acho que ele nem pôs um pé em Portugal, caralho. Foi no aeroporto, fez os exames, vou-me embora como o Abel Ferreira. Foda-se.
To tell you the truth, Varandas is way over his head. He doesn't know how to manage a club of this magnitude. This is way over his head. You could tell our coach Kaiser, he's nice, he's polite, well-spoken, but that's not what we need. I need a coach with fucking balls. I need a coach that makes move and makes substitutions when he sees the game is going the wrong way. That's what I need. I mean, you have week after week after week different podcasts. I listen to Sporting160. I listen to TV shows. I listen to different people. I just did a podcast with Three Tugas, which, by the way, with Three Tugas, it was a lot of fun. These guys are knowledgeable. Fumases, talk to the doll. He's a great friend of mine. He was there too, and Mikey and Bruno, and very knowledgeable. And we all see it the same way. And I gotta tell you, what the hell is wrong with Sporting? If we can see it a mile away, why can't they see it? What's wrong with Varandas and Kaiser? Why can't they see it? They fucking up so much.
They don't want to change.
And I agree with Danny. Why get rid of all the ex-players from Bruno Carvalho? I don't get that. Viviani is doing great in Italy.
Bro, and I just remembered one right now. You're telling me Marcelo couldn't help out today?
Well, big time.
Rio Ave captain, had crazy performances against Benfica in the past, Porto, Sporting, Guimarães, fucking Setúbal, all the teams we're losing to. Constant leader, a fucking leader at Rio Ave. We couldn't use him today? You're telling me Ilori is better than Marcelo? Or a lot better than Marcelo? Really?
Well, we could have used Mateus Pereira.
Well, this.
We could have used the Miral.
Okay, I don't know if Montero's still injured, but I much rather had Montero than Bas Dost. I can't re-emphasize that as much as I can.
We could have used Duarte, Ivanito Fernandes. We could have used a bunch of players that we loan or with stupid loans with buying clauses of 3.5 that the Miral.
You're telling me Goudelli's that much better than Pelinha, especially defensively?
Can even shoot the ball take a shot outside the box. And I'm going to repeat this because I saw him taking several shots outside the box, and it was like a three-point conversions from an NFL team. How can you call yourself a professional soccer player and you can even shoot to the fucking goal? I think after the game, he's taking a flight back to the States. I think either the Patriots or the Rams might need him for as a kicker, bro, for the Super Bowl. A fucking joke. Oh, man. Eu tô chateado hoje. I don't even know why we're doing the podcast because you insisted. Because I wanted to cancel it because, opa, isto aqui até mete nós, meu. Guys, I mean, think about it. I have a Sporting hat. Nano's got a Sporting hat. We invested in microphones. We invested in headsets. I buy the Sporting newspaper, the Sporting jerseys. Spend a ton of money, and then as a gift, they give us a 4-2 defeat at home.
Yeah.
45,000 people in that game. 45,000 had to fucking swallow such a huge defeat by Sporting Lisboa Benfica, our all-time rival. How are you going to talk to your Benfiquista friends? You're not even going to talk to them. You're going to ignore them.
And the fact is, we had to win this game, whether it was against Benfica or against Puta que pariu. We had to win this game. Now we're fighting to stay in fourth because Guimarães Porto right now is 0-0. Let's say Guimarães gets a result there. They're fucking what? I think I just checked it. 5 points, 6 points off of us, and we still need to play them. At Avalad, but we still need to play them.
And
that's the thing.
The gap between third and fifth will be the same.
So now, who do you root for? Porto Guimarães today. Yeah, that's a kick.
Porto, I don't want to see Benfica win the title.
It don't matter with the title. I mean, it's irrelevant for me. If it's Guimarães or Porto Guimarães or Benfica.
At this point, I don't give a shit.
No.
I don't give a shit, man. I hate them both so much that they can all fuck themselves.
I hate them both equally.
Yeah, I do too.
I have no preference for Benfica or Porto.
And Braga is up there too, but fuck Braga.
Now I'll tell you why.
These fucks are gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll tell you why I have no preference. Because I'm Sportingista and that's it. I don't.
Guys, but we won the Taça da Liga.
Hey! Macarena!
Somos campeões de inverno, caralho. Look at the positives. Foda-se,
2 years
meu.
in a row, man. Oh, shit.
Foda-se, meu. Yeah.
You know
Four
what?
penalty shootouts too, buddy. Fuck my life.
You know what the sad thing about that? We don't even brag about it.
No, dude, my girlfriend, she was like, damn, I see everybody on Twitter so hype and shit. Why aren't you like retweeting everything? And I was like, it's the fucking Taza de Liga. She's like, I thought this shit was great news. And I was like, this is awful news. Like, we don't give a shit about this.
Listen,
yeah, God damn.
If you go to the Sporting website, www.sporting.pt, and then you go to the section that says Palmeiras. Okay, so you scroll down. They haven't posted the 2018 championship of the under-15 yet. I know because I follow them. And they haven't posted the Taça da Liga they we just won yet. We so disgraceful. It's not only our football team, it's our marketing team, it's who runs the fucking official social media. We're doing bad in all the fronts. Believe me, the only thing that saves us, it says modalidades. That's it. Our ladies got us another European title. The guys got the third place, the bronze medal. It's significant because you do get medals. Okay? Futsal, we won the Super Cup, and we on the way to the Final Four.
Final Four, yeah.
Volleyball in first place. Okay, Patins, we went to Pavilion de Luz when we won 4-1. We won today 6-2. The under 15, they're in first place. They won today. The juveniles won also against Luz 4-2. Our juniors, they a complete role model. They mimic the fucking senior team. They're terrible. Under 23, they terrible. They lost against Leiria. They're the last ones in their fucking conference.
Yeah.
So, os juniors também podem ir para o caralho em conjunção com os seniors. They're not learning much from them. But the modalidades, we're doing, the female team today won 4-0. So they're doing great too. We won in the International Cup, Challenge Cup for volleyball against Fultz Bastards. So we're on the way to a semi-final, another European title. So, I'm a modalidade sportingista from now on.
Well, Steph, how can you blame the website guy not updating the titles, man? We win so many titles, it's hard to keep up.
For real, bro.
Hey, Chris, he chama-se incompetência. Because it's one of the things you have to do right away. Epa, we just won another title. Let me update the website because that's very important to all of us. To me, it is at least.
Right.
But when I go back, like every week, I like to check it, or every month, and then I'm like, foda-se, já passou ano e não puseram os títulos dos iniciados. They won the fucking title in 2018. It's not there yet. If you go and check it, they're supposed to have 13 titles. The under 15 team. They still have 12. And the 2018 title is not there yet. And then for some reason, they're not counting the international title from the goalball team. So now that's a new thing. Because we're supposed to have 31 titles. They say, no, it's only 30 because we don't count goalball. You guys do know what's that.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's like Paralympics, right?
Yeah. So basically, they took a dump on them, saying, nah, it's not so important. Yeah. Sporting is Sporting, no há divisões. You don't divide it, So now they just created that division. Because if you go to Twitter, Mauro Silva, he follows us and we follow him too. He did debate that at the official side of Sporting, and they responded back to him with a response that didn't convince anybody. And those two tweets were actually in the Record newspaper. So check it out. But o nosso Sporting with this president is getting sillier and sillier by the minute. By the minute. We're insulting now our handicap athletes. That's basically what they did. They said, you're not that important to us, so that's why we're not counting your international titles. And then this fucking website, the Palmeiras, it doesn't include all the fucking modalidades. It doesn't include basketball. It doesn't include volleyball, goalball. I don't know how they said, oh, we're going to pick these. What's the criteria you're using, buddy? Why only these modalidades and you're not including volleyball? If you go now, you'll see what I mean. They're not including basketball. Basketball has won Portuguese championships, and Taças Portugal. It should be there. Volleyball too. So I don't know what's going on with our Sporting, but they're losing steam. They're losing fans, and basically we're gonna switch places. We keep on saying we're a big club. We're a big club because of our history.
Yeah, that's about it.
And because of our fan base. Because I don't even know how we have so many fans yet. After losing for so long, we still have a strong fan base. But, you know, you see your kids, or my kids growing up, campeão Benfica, campeão Porto, campeão Benfica, campeão Porto. They will eventually say, foda-se, eu vou ser Sportingista ao caralho. Então o nosso clube nunca ganha. How can you tell your kids, no, to just a Sportingista, it's mandatory.
Yo, we're just a divided club, man, and you know, it is what it is. Our fans, we're stuck in two generations. We're stuck in two different time zones, two different philosophies. I don't know. We've been saying this for years, and it's just there's nothing we can do about it until just time. Just got to keep rolling with the punches, rolling with the punches, rolling with the punches. I mean, we could do something about it. We did it briefly when we finally revolted, and you know, Bruno came out of the ashes his first go around, and you know, we finally gave a guy a voice. And it doesn't mean it has to be him again. It has to be somebody else who's willing to take the club and go a different route. But Varandas is more of the same. Varandas is more of the Bentecourts, of the Godinho Lopes, of the Soares Francos, of the Roquettes.
It's the exact same team as Godinho Lopes, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
As long as that continues to be the thing, as long as Sporting continues to have Assembleia Gerais where we discuss whether Bruno Carvalho needs to continue to be suspended for another year or two to really embarrass this man and punish this man, versus what the fuck do we need to do to modernize, to change, to realize that we're no longer stuck in the 1930s where guys play with socks up to their fucking thighs and with, you know, big gods the size of a fucking, you know, broom and shit like that. Like, we need to change because other clubs have changed. Benfica, get this, Benfica went through their change period when they didn't win the title for over 10 years in the early 90s, all the way to when they won it finally with Trapattoni. Benfica was going through that era, and that was their worst period. Porto went through it until Pinto Costa got there. And if fucking Pinto Costa, how old he is, what is he, like 80, 81, 82? If that guy can keep up with the times, if that is capable, I don't give a shit at this point that they're corrupt, but there's shit that they've done, that they've learned, that they've changed, that they've implemented in their club that is new, that is modern, and that is the way that needs to be done. Sporting doesn't care, and we're going to continue to have these conversations. And as happy as we'll get is a title every 18 to 20 years, okay? And that's not enough for me. That's not enough for you, and that's not enough for Steph. That's not enough for Patrick. It's not enough for anybody, and it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, well said.
But at least the Super Bowl's tonight.
Yeah, speaking of the Super Bowl, we're going to call it quits soon.
Have I told you that I really like your microphone?
Falas bem com isso, meu.
Epa, tens uma voz do caralho. Parece Henrique Iglesias, meu. He sounds like Henrique Iglesias.
Yeah, for real. Well said, though, Nando. I agree with everything you said, bro. Anyways, guys, any last lingering thoughts on this game and where we're at? Chris, I'll start off with you.
Well, you know, I guess when we were back on Monday or Sunday last week, when we were only 8 points back, you know, there was some hope, not much, but it theoretically was a possibility that something could happen. Now we're officially fucked. So can confirm, regardless of the Porto result, I mean, it's impossible to win the title. And we just greatly made it significantly more difficult to even get into second place. Third place is getting further away now, but Braga keeps winning. They're a fucking machine. We keep dropping points. So we're gonna end up in fourth place unless something drastically changes. It'll be interesting to see how this this string of bad results affects the other two competitions that we're in, starting on Wednesday when we go again against Benfica again, and against Villarreal the week after. And it'll be interesting to see how they respond. It'll be interesting to see how the player selection continues. And it'll be interesting to see if Kaiser even makes it to the end of the season. Because if things continue the way they have been, he's probably fucked.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that like that's been touched upon. They definitely listening to the wrong people because he didn't start out like that. And yeah, he clearly needs to change something because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you trot out that same fucking 11 that just tied Stubble and got hammered by Benfica again, if you trot out the same exact team, what's going to happen? You're going to fucking lose again. Something needs to change. You've got new players. You've got Borja. You've got Dumbia. You've got Felipe. Like, fucking play them. At this point, we have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
See what you have. Because in all seriousness, a horrible season. The team's going to get blown up in the summer. We'll likely lose Bruno Fernandes. We'll likely lose Bas Doss. Not that matters. I foresee the team being blown up. So you might as well see what you have. And some players haven't even gotten their fair shake. Like Gerald's like, what is it going to take for that guy to get some minutes? Like, the Liga NOS games aren't even going to fucking matter anymore. Like, when we play Rio Ave in 2 weeks or whatever, and we're 8 points back of second place, like, the game doesn't matter. It's like a scrimmage, basically. You got to be careful to not fall into fifth. But, I mean, that's the only thing we're worried about. We're worried about avoiding Guimarães catching us, not us catching anybody else. So, yeah, I mean, really disappointing.
And at this point, even if we finish fifth and we're out of Europa League next season, I think that gives us the best chance to win the fucking title than ever before, if I'm being totally honest with you. So if we finish fifth, fuck it. Quickly, Nando, give me your predictions. Taça da Liga on Wednesday against Benfica. What do you think the score will be? Taça de Portugal, sorry. Taça de Portugal. Ainda estou com a vitória na cabeça, caralho. Campeão de inverno, meu.
Yeah, that's good, man. You know, in typical Sporting fashion, we'll go and win. I say we win 2-1 in typical Sporting fashion. You know what I mean? Just to keep us fucking hopeful and excited, and just being like, oh shit, maybe this year we win 2 taças, Taça da Liga, Taça de Portugal, caralho. Maybe that'll get us to Europa because we got to win the Taça de Portugal to get there. So I think we win. Fuck it, 1-0, we win. And that's mostly my heart talking there. But
not your head, clearly.
The good news is Sportingistas, like, year after year after year, we get good at one thing. We are such good mathematicians. We know how to fucking do things like it's nobody's business, man. We can sit here, and not only do we know where we stand, but we know where Guimarães stand. We know where like the 9 team stands. We're like, we gotta be careful. Like, that's the beauty of Sporting, man. So that's fucking great. Other than that, we shit the bed, and I still love my team. It just sucks that we shut the bed.
For real. Steph, predictions for Taça de Portugal on Wednesday.
We're going to lose. That's a sure thing. I have no confidence in this team. This team plays with no confidence. They play afraid. They have no solutions at the midfield, no vision. You could see that today. All we did that was decent was losing the ball consistently. So that's the only.
What a stat!
I'm telling you, we were very productive in giving the ball away to Benfica counter attack. At one point, I was like, "Aquele guy está a jogar para o Benfica," because I thought that they switched jersey really fast, and then ele deu a bola a Benfica outra vez. We stunk and we stink, and we're not going to do great on Wednesday. Unless he uses the players we're just talking about. He's not afraid of saying, you, and you, fuck you, I'm going to play them. and grow a pair of balls, and say it. Tell yourself, you know what? That's Portugal. We need to win or tie at Estádio da Luz. I think we do better results at Estádio da Luz than Estádio de Alvalade anyway. I think Benfica, they have more victories in our own stadium. I believe so.
I think so too.
I think so. So I'm not confident at all. Estádio da Luz on Wednesday. The good news is I'm going to be working that day.
For real. And my quick prediction is we actually had somebody mention us on Twitter, Nuno, I believe it was, who said we need to be a bit more pessimistic. Nuno, I'm not saying this. We're not doing this because you mentioned it, buddy. The pessimism is back and really alive. I don't see us winning either. At best, we get away with a 1-1, but I see that as another fucking 3-1. Chris, predictions.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Simply play. All right. Sorry.
I'll say 3-1, by the way. 3-1 as well.
3-1?
Yeah, 3-1 sounds about right.
Yeah. All right, there we go. 3-1 losses from us. 1-0 win from Nando. Surprisingly, he's the only optimistic one in the panel. We mentioned Modalidades throughout the show. So, guys, thank you everybody for joining us here on the podcast today. Steph, Chris, Nando, thank you guys for joining us as always. And we'll see you on the next podcast, everybody.
It's Nuno Gabriel.
Thank you, Nuno Gabriel. The pessimism is back.
It's back, and we agree with you, Nuno.
We do agree.
And the sweater looks good on you.
It does. It looks beautiful on you, buddy. It looks beautiful on you. And not to mention the shiny lights of the Taça da Liga is now gone, and I see the darkness that is here in this club.
Hey, but it is a beautiful cup.
Yeah, it gave me a bit of happiness for while it lasted. I mean, so
like 15 minutes.
They displayed the cup before the game, which was
the cup is actually a nice cup too. It's a nice little taça, but it just sucks that it meant nothing. Sorry,
that was a smart move to display it before the game.
Yeah.
Because imagine after the game, the Portuguese, they would be like, "Enfia a taça no cu, meu."
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we bid you adieu. Ciao until next time. Viva o Sporting.
O Sporting, não o Varandas e essas merdas. O Sporting.
Yeah.